hiker lay at the foot of the waterfall, slipping in and out of consciousness. His two companions watched helplessly, wondering if he'd survive. When a troop of scouts from Redmond came upon the scene, they took control and earned a badge of honor for the life they saved that day.
We were hiking Glacier National Park on our extended backpack trip, and we were coming over Red Gap Pass, which is one of the major passes we were going over in our hike, and a man was walking up the trail, and he was yelling something, and we didn't know what that noise was, and we were filtering water, and eventually we met him on the trail.
We're on our way down when we met the other hiker that was going out to try to get some help for this injured hiker that he told us about.
We stopped to get water, and I hiked about 10 feet to a nice pool and pumped water, and I turned around to head back to the trail, and my feet shot out from under me. I went down the stream bed like it was a water slide, and I went off the edge of this waterfall and fell 40 or 50 feet.
When we got down to the injured hiker, his friends had rolled him out of the water, and he was next to the bank and in a great deal of pain, and was hollering in pain, and it was a very scary scene at the bottom of that ravine.
I saw the victim laying on the ground, and his eye was swollen over, or his orbital right here was swollen over his eye, and he was laying on his back about 3 inches above the stream he was laying in on rocks, laying on top of a thermarest. He was moaning in pain and talking but fading in and out, and I could tell he was clearly in shock.
My right femur was sheared off, and the end of the ball was sheared off, and my leg was displaced basically up my back. My back was broken in at least 10 spots. They pretty much stopped counting. Most of my ribs were broken. My skull was broken in quite a few places. My face, my zygomatic arch was broken. My neck, one vertebrae was totally shattered and was displacing my spinal cord by about 60 or 70%. The doctor said they hadn't ever seen a case of such severe spinal trauma without paralysis or death.
It took all of us to get him, the first aid done on him, all the materials we needed, and to get him rescued. Andy and myself did the first aid on him, and we're the only two that were down in the ravine doing first aid on him. John and Dana were filtering water for us and getting the first aid materials that we needed to us, and Stan and Justin hiked out to get help at the closest ranger station to get a helicopter to take him out, because we knew there was no way he was going to hike out. So all of us played a vital role in getting him to safety.
And Justin and I took off with Mr. Brooks down the trail. It seemed like kind of fun at first, you know, we get to go hike out and get help and stuff like that. But after about 3 or 4 miles, it kind of, the fun of it kind of went away. But we still knew we had to get on going.
I had a fear that I wasn't going to be able to do it coming down into this ravine where he was laying. And I had all this first aid stuff in my hands, and I was going down this ravine as fast as I could. And I was thinking to myself, oh, I hope I remember all the stuff I learned in MOFA training and prior Boy Scout training.
MOFA stands for Mountain Oriented First Aid, and it's basically the first aid class that you teach to people that are in the hiking environment, away from 911, where 911 is miles and hours away. Even though I'm not the birth mother of any of these boys, I feel a major part of their life, part of the village to raise them. And my heart just was huge, just absolutely huge with pride, knowing that they took something that I taught them specifically for that, and they were able to remember it and use it in a positive way. It was just very powerful.
No one questioned, absolutely no one questioned what they should do or who should do what. They all wanted to jump in and help. And it really made the other assistant scoutmaster and myself feel very proud of these boys. They jumped in and they took care of business, quite frankly.
I'm just amazed that I can walk, and I'm even more amazed I'm alive. It's a pretty heroic effort, and I want to thank you guys. You saved my life.